delighted to introduce to you Jose Vasquez, Tony Castillo, Al Cousin, and Ray Rodriguez. So they need to get up right now and walk to the front. Each of them has a remarkable story. I'm going to save Ray till last if he doesn't mind. This is no indication of prominence. But I will begin with two people who were actually born at Rancho Los Alamitos. And one is Jose Vasquez, and the other is he is one of the families of Mexican workers whose homes were on the street that you came up to in the Rancho. The other is Al Cousin, a son of one of the Belgian tenant farmers who immigrated here in the late 19th century and not worked at the Rancho but rented land from Fred Bixby and gave in return 25% of their cash crop. Tony's family came here from Mexico, and she came to Rancho Los Alamitos because her father heard that he could find work here. And indeed, as Ray Rodriguez, who grew up in the Signal Hill area, his father was a lease farmer, and he came back to the Rancho to play with all these kids, the Japanese lease farmer families down below the hill, the Belgian tenant farmers over there, and the Mexican ranch worker kids. It was an extended community, and perhaps just briefly, they could each tell you, maybe in a sentence right now and more later, what this place means to them. Beginning with Tony.
Well, I'm Tony Castillo, and of course, I was brought here from Mexico when I was only 5 years old, and when my family came. And of course, so anyway, my father came to look for work here, and of course, right away he got a job here. And of course, I grew up here, and I just, I just loved it here. I worked in the house because when the Bixby gave the ranch to the city, well, Miss Hotchkiss and Miss Jane got together and Tony knows the house because I used to come and help Ida, that was the housekeeper, in the house to clean. So when they gave the property to the city, well, they told me if I could work in the house because I knew the house. I knew every room. So I stayed and I worked. So then I was working for the city, the Long Beach city.
I call this home. I was born where Rossmore is today in 1925. My dad was a tenant farmer for the Bixbys and broke some of that ground for sugar beets. As time went on, I became a sharecropper, and I stayed on the ranch until development started in 1959. Our leases were terminated. That's when I moved to Madera. My children were all born here on the ranch. They're all successful in life now. I blame my start, and I thank my start for the Bixbys on the Rancho Los Alamitos. I brought a sample of the crop, some almonds. I should have brought a case of wine because I raised wine and grapes and also black-eyed beans. I want to thank everybody again for the beautiful job that's been done. It deserves a lot of credit, right?
This gentleman, you know.
And Ray and I played it around here when we were 3 years old and 4 years old. So.
We've been friends since elementary school.
Many of you probably know Ray's name. Ray is an accomplished scholar in his own right. He actually wrote a column from the Long Beach Press-Telegram for 18 years, and it was nationally syndicated. He is a regional Hispanic leader and is well known. His book on repatriation is a nationally awarded book. And so he is not only has a personal history on Rancho Los Alamitos.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming, and again, echoing Albert's praise of the job that has been done in restoring this. In fact, we were mentioning this morning, good heavens, just look at it. It's even better than we imagined. And you'll find that growing up at that time was even better than going to Disneyland. Because Disneyland is fake, it's phony, it's put on. This was real. This really gave you the values of being here, of belonging, of learning and growing. And I remember three very specific things about this place. One was the livestock. They mentioned the cattle, the horses. They even had some buffaloes out here at the time. And there used to be I'm not sure if it was a donkey or a mule or a jackass. We were never properly introduced. But it was brave to welcome everyone coming up Anaheim Road to visit the ranch, no matter what the situation was. So the animals were a very large part of your life at that particular time. Also the people who worked the ranch, who it's been said they gave it life, they gave it meaning, they gave it a fulfillment that would have been impossible without their contribution. And what I liked best, at that time I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old, I would get here about lunchtime. And there used to be a bunkhouse over here. I would gather some wood, make a little fire, get the ambers ready. They would bring their tacos, tortillas, whatever, warm them up. And of course I always got a couple of those, you know. That's the reason I was doing it. But the thing that I remember the most, and the thing that I think appreciate and stays with me and has been part of my life, influenced my life, has been the people that I've met. Because this was, as I've often said to people, like the little United Nations. We had the Japanese, we had the Portuguese, we had the Dutch, we had the Belgians, we had the Mexicans. We even had some Anglos. Yeah, I mean, it was a real community. And the beautiful part is, we got along so well together. I don't remember ever an unkind or a cross word or whatnot. We were just, he was my buddy, I was his pal. We'd go to the movies, we'd do all kinds of things together. I would ride on the tractor alongside him and so forth. And it was just that kind of growing up. You didn't sit around TV and play, you know, with your thumbs. You were out there living life. And I thank the ranch because what I am, it has made me. I thank you very much.